Alright, welcome back. So since the last video I posted, it's been a pretty good while. My life's been pretty busy. I moved my family into a new house. I'm still living in Las Vegas, but we moved to a different house. And I've been gone for work for a couple months and just recently got back. So this time home I'm going to try and film as much as I possibly can and keep some content coming for you subscribers for the next time I'm at work. So here's to hoping that works out as I planned. I've got about a dozen videos planned that I'll be filming, editing, and releasing over the next couple months. So stay tuned for those. So just kind of a quick update on the channel. So now that the basic housekeeping's out of the way, the actual content of this video is how to rig a baitcast reel, to spool a baitcast reel with braid without using any kind of backing or wrapping electrical tape or anything like that around the spool of your reel. So stay tuned. Alright, so in this example I'll be using a DC Scorpion from Shimano. It's an international reel. But the reason I chose this one is it doesn't have any line on it, it needs some line, but two, notice the spool's completely smooth, so there's nothing for the line to grab onto. So this is kind of worst case scenario. And this works with this reel, then it should work with pretty much any reel. So first step, open up the reel, do whatever you need to do to pull the spool out, because you need the spool out separate to start all this off. I've got this thing on a rod just to make things easy. To run my line, I'm using 50-pound 8-carrier braid from Bass Pro Shops, but you know, whatever braided line you want to use. That's just what I happen to have lying around. Important step: don't forget to go through the level wind, and you're going to come out the side of the reel where the spool comes in. All right, from here we're going to tie an arbor knot. So the way you tie an arbor knot is you're going to put an overhand stopper knot, just a basic overhand knot, right on the end of the line. You want to run that knot as far out to the end of the line as you possibly can. And then if you want to, you can actually cut that little tag end off. All right, from there we're going to make a loop in the line, and then using the tag end we're going to tie an overhand slip knot around the main line. And then we're going to run this, we're going to tighten this knot down, and we're going to run it all the way down to that stopper knot. The idea here is this knot here now cannot come out because that stopper knot keeps it from pulling through. So what I've got here is a loop that's just a slip knot. I'm going to put that around the spool. Alright, so up to this point this is exactly how you'd be spooling line if you're using mono or fluorocarbon or copolymer. But what you'll notice here now is I can take this knot and it loosely flows around the spool. And if I didn't do anything more than this, under pressure, under tension, this line's going to slip on the spool and my drag isn't going to do anything anymore. And if I've got a big fish, he's just going to pull line. So I need to lock this whole thing down. So the way I'm going to do that is I'm going to make a loop here. I'm going to twist that loop over on itself. And I'm going to slide that loop over the spool. And now what I've essentially done is I've tied an overhand knot around the spool. I'm going to do that a couple times. And each time I'm cinching this thing down and I'm working it back and forth a little bit to really make sure it's cinched down on itself. Now I want to go on either side of the first loop around the spool I tied. And each time this is going to get a little bit tighter. Alright, so what I've got now is I think I've got 5 or 6 knots on here. I've got several wraps of line around the spool, and all of that now is cinching down on itself, and I cannot move this knot on this spool. So we'll put the spool back in the reel, put the side plate back on.
from here, you just wind your line on like normal. And that's locked down, that's not going anywhere. So basically, that's how you put line on a baitcaster, or braid on a baitcaster, without having to use backing or put any electrical tape or any other nastiness around your spool. And it's not going to slip. No extra knots in there, and fairly quick.
Hey, if you found that tip helpful, go ahead and give the video a like, share it with your friends. Comment down below if you've got any recommendations or requests for other videos. I've got a bunch of reel reviews coming up. I've got a fishing video actually filmed that I'm getting ready to edit, sit down and edit right now for Clear Lake. And I've got several fishing trips planned that I'm going to be filming and editing up over the next couple weeks. So, until next time, cheers and tight lines.